Right now, noon changes are coming to how police in Madison are cracking down on bars that serve minors alcohol, how bar owners are reacting to the news. Plus, President Trump says he's confident Israeli hostages could be released in the coming days, what Israel and Hamas have agreed to, and the celebrations from Tel Aviv to Gaza. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter. Right now, Madison police are investigating reports of shots fired on the city's east side. Multiple people called about hearing shots just before 10:15 last night. This is in the area of Sprecher Road near East Buckeye Road, just off of I-90. When officers arrived, they found multiple shell casings at that intersection. Police say no one was injured and there was no property damage. The Madison Police Department is changing how it cracks down on underage drinking in downtown. Department officials say instead of large-scale operations, officers will now conduct quick checks, monitoring lines, verifying bartender licenses, and making sure bars aren't over capacity. They'll also offer amnesty for customers who turn in fake IDs. Last Thursday, police confiscated 137 fake IDs at a State Street bar, but issued just 8 citations. That's a change from a January raid that led to more than 200 citations.
The goal is not to issue everybody a citation, but just to determine, has it 1 or 2 underage persons that were able to make it inside, or is the entire establishment full of underage drinkers?
News 3 Now spoke with several bar owners who declined to go on camera, but questioned the department's continued focus on bar checks instead of a recent downtown violence push. Parking at the Dane County Regional Airport could soon cost you more. Today, city leaders will meet to consider raising prices. They could raise maximum daily rates from $8 to $12 in the surface lot and $6 to $10 in the economy lot. Max rate for parking up to 24 hours in the daily parking ramp could rise from $10 to $14. Max rate in hourly would rise to $20. Right now, it's free to park for 15 minutes. The time would extend to 30 under the new measure. It could bring in an extra $1.5 million. The State Journal reports it'd be the first increase since 2008. The meeting is this evening at 5:30, and you can watch virtually over Zoom. Israel and Hamas are a major step closer to ending their 2-year-long war after reaching a deal, which calls for Hamas to release all remaining hostages and for Israel to withdraw its forces to an agreed-upon line. Natalie Brand has the new developments.
From Hostage Square in Tel Aviv to the streets of Khan Yunis in Gaza, an outpouring of joy and relief as Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first steps to end the war. President Trump celebrated the breakthrough in negotiations while meeting with his cabinet today.
And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East. We secured the release of all of the remaining hostages, and they should be released on Monday or Tuesday.
Late last night, the president spoke to a group of hostage families by phone.
The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
Loved ones say their healing cannot begin until all the hostages come home. The president says in phase 1 of the plan, Israel will withdraw its troops to an agreed-upon line, and then all remaining hostages, including the deceased, will be released in coming days. Israel will also release some Palestinian prisoners. The administration is hopeful the initial ceasefire provides momentum for achieving a lasting peace, but challenges remain, including whether Hamas will disarm and how Gaza will be governed.
Gaza is going to be slowly redone. You have tremendous wealth in that part of the world by certain countries, and just a small part of that, what they make will do wonders for Gaza.
Palestinians celebrating the news say they just want the bloodshed to end. While strikes by Israel continue today, its parliament is meeting to vote on the deal and start the clock on the ceasefire. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Hostages are expected to be released within 72 hours of the troops' withdrawal. President Trump has said he plans to possibly visit the region this weekend. Let's get a first check of your first warn forecast on a Thursday afternoon. Here's meteorologist Blaze Keller. Hi, Blaze.
Hello. It is a very comfortable start to the second half of the week. We're at 60 degrees, taking a live look at our Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison. Winds are out of the south. Plenty of sunshine. Enjoy it because we will say goodbye to a little bit of the clear skies as we head further into the overnight hours. A little bit of rain is expected as we go Thursday night into early Friday. But until then, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures still lingering in the upper 50s around Juneau and Janesville. We're at 60 in Madison, 62 three of them actually for Lone Rock, Boscobel, Prairie du Chien, as well as Platteville. We're at 60 in Watoma, into Dane County, 64 in Sauk City, 60 stretching from Sun Prairie South into Stoughton. We're a little bit cooler there in Edgerton at 59 degrees. So a little bit of rain tonight. It's going to be minimal. And then as we look ahead to next week, starting later Sunday night through at least maybe the middle of next week, we have a couple of chances for some much needed rain. Josh and folks at home, coming up in the full forecast, not only will I be joined hopefully by a free friend because it is Thursday, but we're going to take a look at the latest drought monitor. That data got released today, see how dry we've been, and then we'll take a look at that rain chance tonight. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, my lawn is looking very, very rough right now.
Yes, I've seen a lot of brown lawns out there. Definitely need that rain.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Happening tomorrow, UW's homecoming parade is going to force some closures on the Isthmus. Streets around Langdon will be closing at different times, starting as early as 8 in the morning and lasting into the evening hours. Langdon Street from Park to Lake will be closed all day. Later in the afternoon, closures extend from Lake to Wisconsin Avenue and Wisconsin Ave from Langdon to Gilman. A driving lane will stay open to the Edgewater Hotel. Other closures include Gilman Street from State to Wisconsin and northbound Lake Street from University to Langdon down during the parade itself. That kicks off at 6 o'clock. We have the full travel impact map on channel3000.com. Bascom Hill will soon start filling up with the Pink Flamingos. Tonight at 5 o'clock, that beloved Fill the Hill tradition returns for homecoming week. Tomorrow on News 3 Now This Morning, meteorologist Savannah Brito and I will be there live with how you can support the cause. The Brewers playoff series with the Cubs just got a lot more serious. After winning the first two games, Milwaukee was cruising until last night at Wrigley Field. The Cubs facing elimination, bottom of the first. Chicago's Michael Busch launches a leadoff home run that ties things at 1. Same inning, runners on for P. Crow Armstrong, who lines one to right for a single that brings in 2 runs, 3-1 Chicago. And then we go to the top of the 9th now. Cubs with a 1-run lead. Christian Yelich grounds to second to end the inning and the game. Brewers fall 4-3. The Cubs will host Game 4 tonight at 8:08. Then on Sunday, the Packers are back in action at home. They're going to be taking on the Bengals at Lambeau Field. You can watch that game right here on WIC TV, Channel 3, kicking off at 3:25. Coming up next on News 3 Now at noon, what Domino's is doing for its first brand refresh in more than a decade. Plus, how much more you'll have to pay to spend time at the happiest place on earth.
Some patients will soon be able to pick up their prescription medications from a vending machine. Amazon is launching pharmacy kiosks at select One Medical offices in California starting in December, with plans to expand to other locations in the future. Here's how it works. Patients set up an Amazon pharmacy account online, schedule an appointment at a One Medical location, and request that their prescription be sent to Amazon Pharmacy. Then the patient can go to the Amazon app and request pickup at a kiosk in minutes. The happiest place on earth is getting pricier. Disney has announced it's raising ticket rates for its theme parks during peak days in both Anaheim and Orlando, effective immediately. On some of the most popular days of the year, a single day pass will cost roughly $199. During weeks surrounding big holidays like Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving, that price will jump another $25. And Domino's is getting a new look and sound in its first brand refresh in 13 years. The revamp includes a t-shirt launch, updated uniforms, and pizza boxes, and a catchy new jingle from country music star Shaboozey. Domino's says the refresh is about pushing to be the best version of itself. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is down 246 points, NASDAQ down 98, and the S&P 500 also down this hour, almost 20.5. Pam has today's farm numbers up next, and Blaze is tracking the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, as flight delays stack up and air traffic workers call out sick, is this the breaking point that could end the government shutdown? Welcome back. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee for the Midwest Farm Report. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Josh. Beautiful day out there today. Hope you get a chance to enjoy it. I enjoyed my time with dairy farmers of Wisconsin last week. We started talking about it yesterday. They have rolled out a brand new campaign to make sure that consumers as well as other farmers can identify with the different jobs, the different types of farmers that we've got in Wisconsin. They call it Born to Dairy. And today we're focused in on a few more of the folks that are acting as representatives, including the Darling dairy farmer. She's a gal that gets things done on the farm, but she's also a gal that's fashion forward when it comes to what she's doing and also the way she's representing the dairy industry. Now, remember, everybody that's on these collector cards is exactly a dairy farmer in Wisconsin. So if you've got stereotypes in your mind, they're going to break them. Take a look at our MacGyver. I bet you know a person just like this. Duct tape and fine wire can help make everything right when it comes to creativity on the farm, and our MacGyvers are definitely doing just that. Like I said, you got to make it work on the farm, and those MacGyvers are getting it done. Then there's Moomaw. Can't be happy unless you got a full belly, so she's always there with treats, whether it's at the soccer field, football sidelines, or out in the field where people are harvesting. So you got to make sure everybody's taken care of. Charlie Barron's a buddy of mine. You may know him from Manitowoc Minute, Cast, and of course his stand-up. He is part of this campaign, helping dairy farmers of Wisconsin spread the word on Born to Dairy. You want to find out more? Jump online, borntodairy.com. A fun look at Wisconsin dairy and how unique it is. borntodairy.com. Quick kind of breaking news item for folks that are in my neck of the woods. Just kind of think about this. We have had 2 cases now of high-path avian influenza that's been detected in specifically Jefferson County. Well, this morning, the Wisconsin Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection has announced that they are going to be suspending any swap meets, any poultry, any kind of show where there's live birds in Jefferson, Waukesha, Walworth, and Rock County. That is to make sure that we are not spreading high-path avian influenza. So again, I've already heard from a few people that their kids might have been involved in special events, or they may have been involved looking for new livestock or new birds, I should say. Any of those bird gatherings that were planned for Jefferson, Waukesha, Walworth, or Rock County have been suspended to make sure we're not inflicting any pain on anybody else's flocks with high path. Dairy markets today in Chicago, the barrel cheese unchanged at $1.74. 40-pound block cheese up 2 1/4, $1.76. The double A butter today down another 4 3/4 cents at $1.60 1/4 per pound. So like I said, Josh, I know that there are some folks that might have been looking forward to getting a new rooster or maybe a new type of bird for their backyard or their farm. If you were looking in Rock, Walworth, Waukesha, or Rock County, you're not going to be looking anymore. It's all about keeping those birds safe and biosecurity around the farm.
Oh, yeah, you got to be safe. Boy, I love all of the puns that went along with the Born to Dairy picks, like way clever or utterly darling. Those were so funny to me. I love it.
Yep, they're good. You can look them up, Born to Dairy, see which one you identify with.
There you go. Find somebody to relate to. All right, Pam, have a good afternoon.
See you later.
Time now for your certified most accurate forecast, and it's Thursday, so that means meteorologist Blaze Keller has our furry friend of the weekend.
Yes.
Boy, she's cute.
Oh, she is. 4-month-old Lavelle, and I'm going to level with you, Josh. She might be the cutest pet that we've had. That's a lie. They're all cute, but she is just so precious. She's a little shy, so we're going to take it a little bit slower on this Thursday afternoon. It's going to continue to be sunny and mild today, but we will see some light rain move into the forecast as we go overnight. Those should wrap up by the time we're all getting up on Friday. And that'll be just really our first chance for rain in quite some time, actually. Madison, we've only picked up a couple hundredths of an inch of rain, and it does look like we will stay dry for the weekend. So what's bringing in this rain? Well, we're kind of sandwiched between 2 high pressure systems, this next low. And that low pressure system is going to bring down a little bit of rain. You're seeing it right there. It's really going to wrap up by the time we go into the late morning hours on Friday. Probably a couple tenths of an inch of rain. This isn't a super moist low pressure system. It's coming out of Canada, and there's not a whole lot of big bodies of water for these lows to pull moisture out of. So that rain wraps up as we go into your Friday really late morning, and then another high pressure system moves on in. This same high pressure system, Miss Lavelle, is gonna really keep us quiet as we go into not only your Saturday, but Sunday as well. It's a big weekend here in Madison for homecoming. Badgers are taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Green Bay, they're taking on the Bengals. And it looks like even into Sunday, with maybe just a little bit more cloud cover though, it is going to be a good weekend for not only sports, but everything else that's going to be going on. And that really begins on Friday as well. So there's that light rain moving on in Friday morning, hit or miss showers. Again, as Lavelle's looking at future track, you can see there's not a whole lot of green, so very hit or miss showers. Probably not even going to get a thunderstorm or two, just a couple tenths of an inch. Hopefully it'll be enough to green up the grass a little bit. As I said, Madison, we've only picked up a couple hundredths of an inch of rain so far for the month of October, and we usually pick up a little bit more than that, to say the least. And that's the reason why our drought conditions, unfortunately, have expanded. We put it on social media, but now about 69, almost 70% of the state is abnormally dry, but only 6% is suffering from moderate drought conditions. So hopefully with these rain chances next week, some of them will be maybe a little bit heavier, some more soaking rain, and we can finally start to get some much needed moisture back into the ground. All right, Badgers take on the Iowa Hawkeyes on Saturday. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. We're looking at 62 degrees. It's going to be a very pleasant game. And of course, when they win, fingers crossed, we'll be in those 50s. And if you're heading up to Lambeau this weekend, when the Badgers take on the Bengals, very similar to Saturday, but maybe a little bit more cloud cover, Josh, and folks at home by the time we're ending the game. And that 7 and 10 day forecast looking pretty pleasant as well, with more rain chances as we go into next week. I think Lavelle's tired from being such a good weather helper.
Yes, oh my gosh, so cute. We'll see you guys in just a couple of minutes here. Well, hey, get winter ready with the First Warn Weather Team next Wednesday at 6:30 on WIC TV. Learn why bitter cold and heavy snow may be less common, how winter alerts are issued, how recent winters affect our pets, and what to expect in southern Wisconsin this season. Now let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
One food trend that I've been hearing a lot about lately is something called nudie. Not being sure what it was, I looked it up and discovered it means naked in Italian. At first I was thinking, what kind of trend is this? But the more I read about it, the more I learned it refers to a dish that means naked ravioli, because it's like the filling of ravioli without the pasta part around it. Let me show you. We begin by combining a container of ricotta cheese with a couple of eggs and an egg yolk, some Parmesan cheese, flour, and a little salt and pepper. Once that's mixed, we drop teaspoons of the dough onto a floured baking sheet. We found the easiest way to do this is by using 2 spoons, one to scoop the dough and the other to push it off. Once we do that to all the dough, we sprinkle on a bit more flour. This way they won't stick. Now, we gently drop these into a pot of boiling water. We'll do this in batches so the pot doesn't get too crowded. After they float to the top, we simmer them for a few more minutes until they're cooked through. Now we saute them in a buttery garlic sauce until they just start to get golden. Finish them off with some Parmesan and dig in. I hope you'll go online and try what we call Italian cheese dumplings, so you can shake up pasta night with something new that's really tasty. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we're looking for an exciting way for you to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
After the break, more on our Pet of the Week from the Dane County Humane Society. Time for Potentially Yours on a Thursday. Lisa Bernard from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our Pet of the Week, and Lavelle is such a cutie pie.
Just a snuggle bug.
Oh my gosh.
Tell us about her.
I mean, think about it. If you adopt her, you could be like this
Just
all weekend.
So
chilling
chill.
back on the
Chilling
couch.
out. If it rains this weekend, it's like, who cares? You can hang out with the Lavelle.
For so young, she's so chill.
Lavelle is very chill. She's 4 months.
Okay.
She came to us last week on a transfer from Mississippi, and her brother was the only one from her siblings that came along with her. I don't know if there were others, but he's already got a hold. Okay. And she's very, very sweet. he's a little more excited, and she gets a little excited, but I think it's because she sees him.
Oh, yeah.
So, but she's very chill and super sweet. She's still learning a lot of things.
So what kind of family do you think would be good for her?
I think any family that wants to work with her on training and socialization, because she's still learning. Oh, hide your face.
I know the lights are a lot. The lights are a lot.
So, but you know, she takes treats gently. You could encourage her with treats and just teaching her about the world. She's still learning.
She see herself up on the. That's so cute.
She loved seeing her reflection in the door when we were waiting outside, and she got very excited. Like, look at that! And I'm like, that's you. You're so cute.
Well, she's gonna have no problem finding a home.
Yes, yes.
But she's super adorable. We would love for her to get adopted.
Well, Lisa, thank you for bringing Lavelle in. Hey, good news for last week's pet. Sonia the dog was adopted. Oh, another good update there. So if you're interested in adopting Lavelle or checking out the other animals at Dane County Humane Society, just go to giveshelter.org. And I have a feeling Lavelle's going to have no issues finding a home.
I think the
She's a
phones are
cutie
already
pie.
ringing.
Thanks for watching News 3 Now at noon. Coming up next is The Bold and the Beautiful. We'll see you back here live at 4.